Good afternoon, children. Today we are taking up Unit 4, Bunty's Blue Bike. The pre-task in this lesson. Pre-task in this lesson is a reminder of certain traffic rules. Most of us know these rules, but we ignore them, and the result is accident. Overtaking from the wrong side, when there is no space yet trying to overtake. Now let us see the lesson itself. Dear students, when you go through this chapter, you may feel that it is your own story narrated in a dramatic way. Narrated meaning told. Dramatic way meaning to dramatize. So tie your seat belts and listen to this narration. Now, how does something become interesting? And especially when it is a subject of your choice. So here we have the bike, isn't it? And you might think what's coming in the lesson. So tie your seat belts and listen to this narration. This story being told. Bunty became an overnight hero. And the reason was the beautiful kingfisher blue colored bike, which actually belonged to his uncle. And Bunty exhibited proudly before his friends. Became an overnight hero, meaning in a short while or short time. What is the color of the bike? Kingfisher blue. Kingfisher is a bird. It's blue color. And this bike also was of the similar color. That is why beautiful kingfisher blue colored bike. He exhibited, meaning showing off. Proudly, meaning with lot of airs about it, show off. Before his friends. His friends were jealous of Bunty. What does the word jealous mean? Now we'll have all these meanings coming just now. Irsha karvi. Gujarati is Irsha. The bike's two smart rear view mirrors gave opportunity to the boys to come nearer to the bike. Just with one excuse that you want to set your hair or you want to see your face, whether you're looking good or not. You find some sort of an excuse to come to the bike, and here the excuse was the mirrors. And they were both very smart. Gave opportunity, meaning chance, to the boys to come nearer to the bike. Bunty became popular in a short time. See, overnight, the second meaning is given in the paragraph itself, short time. Popular meaning famous. And his friends wanted to learn every detail about the bike. And so, Bunty loudly and proudly said the average mileage was 80 kilometers a litre. And the ride was a real treat and a dream. So see how economical the bike is. Many of the cars give you just 18 to 19 kilometers an hour. So they are very expensive. That's why most of the people use two-wheelers, because they give you more mileage. See the kingfisher blue. Isn't that bike very smart? I think even you want to ride it. And when you have a chance and given an opportunity, you don't fail to show off. See the stunts that are done. They can be done in the lonely places, fine, but in public place it is dangerous. We are coming to the meanings which are underlined in the paragraph. Overnight, as I was explaining, in a short time. You might be asked sometimes that which other word in the paragraph means overnight. So in the fourth last line, the starting two words are the similar. Jealous meaning envious. Irsha, as you say it in Gujarati. Opportunity, a chance. And popular meaning famous. So I suppose this much of it, what has come your way, you have understood. Bunty's uncle had come for 3 weeks from Mumbai. And so Bunty had access to the bike every afternoon. Meaning he could go near to it. He could touch it, he could feel it, he could sit on it. So Bunty had access to the bike every afternoon. Why afternoon? Because everybody is retired, everybody is sleeping. There's no one to stop him from going near to the bike. He would freely use his uncle's red helmet. Now wearing a helmet in the house and just walking about is nothing very dangerous, and he felt good wearing a red helmet. And his hands would itch to turn on the ignition and take a ride. So many a times he was thinking, if I get a chance, I'll definitely want to ride the bike. So itch is that strong desire. Ignition is to start. But these were his strong feelings, and was content with the rides with his uncle, which filled his friend's heart with envy. So you can see that he could not ride because he was below age and his uncle would not give him the bike. But he was content, meaning satisfied. He felt fulfilled when he was taking rides with his uncle. And all his friends, when they saw him riding with his uncle, they would feel envious. They would feel jealous. So once again you have the similar word. Jealous in the previous paragraph and envy in this second paragraph. Daily after school, he would pose before and by the side of the lovely bike and dream of riding it by himself. Now whenever you have your new clothes or you buy a new car or whenever you have even some ornament, how you want to show off, how you want people to notice that you have this. So same way, this boy was no different. So Bunty also did similar things as you would do in a position similar to his. One Monday, Bunty told his friend Montu that he was learning to ride. So uncle has come for 3 weeks. So one of those Mondays, Bunty is telling his friend Montu that he was learning to ride. But Montu doubted, was not sure if his uncle would lend him his bike or whether he could borrow his uncle's bike. So see, the opposite of lend is borrow. But Bunty challenged and asked his friend to bet. Most of the time this is the ego part. Bunty challenged and said, take a bet. I'll definitely ride the bike. And what do you want to bet on? All the friends knew every screw, nut and pin of the bike, but owning and riding such a bike was too far a dream, meaning a dream that cannot come true. Too far a dream meaning a dream that cannot come true. Bunty's uncle also believed boys and girls of 14 years were incapable of handling such a bike. So though you might be riding yo-yo or gearless vehicles, two-wheelers, but heavy ones you're not supposed to till you come of the age. So below 14, they are not capable of handling a bike like the one that you just saw in the picture. This displeased Bunty. Still, on Sunday when his friend signaled him with a ring whistle meaning you make a ring of your thumb and the index finger, put it in your mouth and then blow. So he ring whistled and there was Bunty down next to his bike. As soon as he got the signal, Bunty came to the bike. Both Bunty and his friend silently wheeled out the bike out of the gate. They are wheeled out, meaning they are pushing it out. They did not start. Starting meaning noise. Noise means somebody will listen to them, hear them, and they might be stopped. And so they are sneaking the bike out. Chup chap bike ne dhakko marine gate na bar. And once they were on the road, Bunty swung onto the seat. So he flinged his leg over the seat and sat down. Inserted the key and turned on the ignition. He started. And the petrol tap. So he turned on the ignition and the petrol tap and kick started. He signaled his friend to jump on. Okay, you also sit, take a ride. Both the boys were not only excited, but thrilled. And what happened next? So in these two paragraphs, you learn about uncle coming from Mumbai for 3 weeks. Bunty has more possibility of going near the bike, access to the bike, and every day dreaming of riding it, and daily after school posing in front of it and making his friends jealous. And then Montu is informed that Bunty is learning how to ride, and all the friends who would gather had learned all the details about the bike. But none of them were in agreement with uncle's belief that children, or the boy or a girl of 14 should ride a bike like that, because they are incapable of handling. But yet, the challenge with Montu, a bet with Montu, pushes Bunty into taking this risk. And both of them stealingly wheeled out the bike. You can also say smuggled out the bike of the gate. Wheeled out meaning smuggled out. And smuggled out is without permission. He signaled his friend to jump on, and both the boys were not only excited but thrilled. And what happened next? Let's see. The meanings which are underlined in the paragraph, here their words are: assess right or opportunity, to reach or to use. H is restless desire, a strong desire. A wish, you can also put a wish. Ignition is a starter, and doubt, uncertainty. So what was the last sentence in that? What was the result? Yes, the luck was in their favor, as the road was empty and they began to race at 100 kilometers per hour. And they cleared the traffic lights. In spite of yellow light, Bunty was in no mood to slow down. The police went on whistling, but Bunty simply laughed and rode on. They were speeding when suddenly a woman came across the road at one corner. Bunty tried to apply brake. The bike screeched to a halt, but the woman was knocked down anyway, with all her vegetables scattered on the ground. Though Bunty was frightened, he restarted his bike, and once again they were off. So see, how is the luck in their favor? The road is empty because it is Sunday. And at what speed are they riding? 100 kilometers per hour. And what makes Bunty proud? That he has, dared the traffic lights. He has challenged the traffic lights. In spite of yellow light, they just passed through. And having done this, breaking a law, makes Bunty to laugh. But what happens next? Is the woman crossing the road, and she is almost knocked down. Bunty does not run over her. He does apply brake, but in fear the woman falls onto the ground and all her vegetables are scattered, littered, thrown here and there. Though Bunty was frightened, he was scared that if the police will come, there will be a case, and he being under 14, riding such a heavy bike, will land him into trouble, and even his uncle into trouble. So Bunty was frightened. So he did not want to stop. He restarted his bike, and once again they were off. At this juncture, meaning at this moment, the friend thanked their stars, as the woman wasn't hurt badly. So why is he thanking his stars or crossing himself and saying, oh thank God? Why? Because the woman was not badly hurt, and that they should stop and help instead of hitting and running off. So it should not become a hit and run case. So he wanted to be polite, he wanted to show his concern, and so he is requesting his friend Bunty to stop. Montu went back to help, feeling not only angry but guilty as well. That if he had not whistled to Bunty, Bunty would not have come down. If he had not challenged him and taken a bet, then things like this would not have happened. That is why he is feeling guilty, and that is why he is feeling angry with himself. He is not angry with Bunty. He is not angry with the old woman. He is not angry with anyone but himself, because he is guilty. He reached the spot by riding back in a bus without any money to buy a ticket, and would have to get off the bus. So he wants to go and help the woman. It is about 2 kilometers from where they had reached, and therefore he took a bus which came at that moment, and without realizing, he boarded the bus without a penny. He would have to get off the bus, and what a surprise! An elderly lady came to his rescue. See the previous part? They knocked down an elderly lady, and now it is another elderly lady who comes to his help. And the friend felt so ashamed that he blushed. Blush means आपके कान का area जो है वो बहुत लाल हो जाता है और आपको गरम, you feel hot. So when your what you would say, your guilt is caught, or when your mistake has been caught, then you start blushing. On reaching the spot of accident, he saw the lady being helped and overheard someone talking about the 2 bikes and blue bike. Now see, people had seen. They had not taken the number, I suppose, but the color of the bike and 2 riders and going with such speed, they were all talking. Where do you see this? Of course it is traffic lights. Each light is significant. Red meaning stop, yellow meaning that you can start, and green means start moving. So this is again a traffic rule. But how many of us pay attention? Even if it is red, you get a chance, you cross the road. Halt meaning to stop. Scattered meaning disperse, throw about, here and there. Scattered, disperse, throw about here and there. Juncture meaning that point of time. Guilty meaning to feel sinful, to feel ashamed, to understand one's own mistake. Rescue meaning save from danger, come to some aid. The police wanted to know if anyone had noted down the bike number of the rogue. Then the friend Montu came forward and said he was the pillion rider, and just then Bunty returned and confessed his fault. To this, friend came to his side, feeling relaxed and proud of his friend. So, as usual, at the accident site, the police turns up and they take down the details from the people who are witness to it, and they were asking whether anybody had noted down the bike number, and that he's calling these boys a rogue, meaning they are such nuisance. Pillion meaning the second rider on the 2-wheeler, and confessed his fault. Bunty came and confessed his fault. Confess meaning to own up, and fault is the mistake. And when he boldly did this, his friend Montu went to him, stood by his side, and he felt relaxed that at last Bunty also has done something which is worthwhile. See the meanings here. Rogue meaning mischief lover, blush meaning red with shame, especially near the ears area. Over here is unintentional listener. Pillion is a passenger behind the motorcyclist, and the fault is the mistake. I hope you have understood the lesson very well. Read it a little more minutely so that you can understand the exercise better. MCQ questions. Bunty's uncle, filled with envy, page 27. Open your books to page 27 and find this extract from Bunty's uncle up to filled with envy. First question. For how long was Bunty's uncle going to stay with him? So you have 4 options, but the third option, that is C, 3 weeks, is the correct, and it is underlined for you. Second question. How did Bunty and his friends satisfy their desire for the bike? Now each one wanted to feel it, touch it, and feel excited about it by wearing the red helmet in turns. So in the afternoon after school hours, Bunty would bring the red helmet down, he would wear it, and then each of his friends wore it in turn. So answer is A. Took a ride every afternoon. Bunty gave a ride to each of his friends and starting the bike every afternoon. So answer is A. Third question. Which act of Bunty made his friend envious of him, meaning jealous of him? Wearing red helmet, that they were all getting a chance. You can see it in the previous question. B. Bunty riding with his uncle, or C. Bunty starting uncle's bike every afternoon. Now he wasn't starting, he only stood there. So Bunty riding with his uncle made his friends envious. The second one, extract or the paragraph, one Sunday onto the pillion, page 28. Question 1. How did the friend call Bunty? By ring whistle, clapping his hands, or barking like a dog? So answer is A, by ring whistle. How far was the bike pushed down the road? Just out of gate, 2 houses away, or 3 houses away? Answer is 3 houses away. The friend took the up to seat. That is the sentence. Answer is driver's seat, pillion, or no seat at all. Of course, answer is B, the pillion seat. C, or the third one, extract. I ran across up to with shame, page 29. First question. How did Montu return to accident spot? First one is took a bus, took a rickshaw, or took a lift in a passing car. Answer is took a bus. Second, when did the friend realize he had no money? So 3 options are there. When the conductor stared at him. Second, when other passengers were taking the tickets. And the third one, as soon as he boarded the bus. It is when the conductor stared at him. A. Third question. Which phrase in the paragraph means to blush? Red with shame, meaning blush. To my rescue, angry? No, it is the first one. The next exercise that we have is vocabulary. Straight away the solution has been done for you. Number 1, Bunty hit a century and became famous overnight. He copied in the examination. This was unfair. Third, the furious hero yelled at the villain. Furious is angry. Yell meaning to shout. Fourth one, there was a drop of honey and within no time ants clustered around it, meaning gathered around it. Fifth, the child whispered, meaning to talk softly, in his mother's ears that he wanted to go to loo. Loo meaning for pee. He wanted to relieve himself. Nature's call. To whom does Sudarshan Chakra belong? Seventh, the fire brigade came to the rescue of the child who was drowning in the river. So see the words: fire brigade, rescue, drowning, river. 8th one. Many won by betting on IPL matches. This is a common thing in the Indian cricket and world over. So there are 8 sentences in this particular one, and the solution is in front of you. Refer to your text for the main sentences. B. Similar meanings. He kicked. Again, only the solution is given and the rest of the sentence has not been copied. So you just write down throbbed. The road was nearly empty. I felt thrilled sitting as a pillion. We cleared all that. Have no mood to slow down. We sped on. That means we cleared the traffic lights. After a shaky start, meaning at the beginning they were hesitating, moved smoothly. 6th one, however, before, to my rescue. So to my rescue meaning to my aid. C part of vocabulary is opposite words. Beautiful, ugly. She was beautifully dressed, but looked ugly in red one. Ants clustered round the scattered grains of sugar. He managed the program well, but the refreshment was mismanaged. The smallest mistake can become greatest one if you do not correct it in time. He trusted in his friend, but he betrayed him. He is a special friend, and he is no ordinary person. He angrily shouted and calmly took the shout. He is guilty of his act. No one can prove him innocent. The sentences I just supply, you can use it too. Both of them in one sentence. Comprehension, page 32. You have to state true or false. Read the lesson thoroughly so that you are able to answer the questions. First one, Montu always supports Bunty. False. Why false? Because when Bunty wanted to run away, Montu wanted to come back and help the lady. Bunty is a heartless boy. False. Though he ran away, he came back at the end. So he is not heartless. Third, Bunty confessed his fault. True. He is the one who tells the policeman. Bunty tried to help the old woman. Wrong. False. Because he was running away. It was his friend who had come. Fifth, the police stopped Bunty as soon as he knocked down the old lady. False. There was no police at the site at that time. What was attractive about Uncle's bike? Answer, the magic kingfisher blue color with a matching pair of basket and 2 smart rear view mirrors attracted everyone, meaning all the youngsters. Second question. Why did Montu come back to the spot of the accident? Answer, Montu came back to the spot of the accident as he thought it was bad to hit and run. Third question. How did Bunty face the incident of the accident? Bunty. Answer, Bunty at first was frightened and did not want to land up in jail. You could read it, end up in jail. He thought the lady wasn't badly hurt or there was no need to bother. So he sped on. But when Montu returned and admitted his fault, Bunty also came back. Fourth, what would you do if you were Bunty? Answer, if I were Bunty, maybe I too would behave in the similar manner. That's being honest. Fifth question. What excited Bunty for a bet? Answer, Bunty had told his friend Montu that he was learning to ride, but Montu reminded Bunty about his uncle's belief of 14-year boy or a girl shouldn't ride bike and his uncle wouldn't lend his bike. This blunt statement from Montu excited him for a bet. So sometimes people cannot take the face value of statements. So here blunt statement is the very straightforward question. to Bunty. Sixth question. How did Bunty and Montu take the bike out? Answer. After Montu's whistle signal, Bunty came out with the bike's key, but they had to wheel out the bike noiselessly out of the gate. Noiselessly meaning without making a sound. It was pushed down the road 3 houses away. So this particular act of Montu and Bunty, what does it mean? That means they were very sure that what they were doing was very wrong. So if you are given a question, which act shows that what Bunty and Montu were doing wrong, this will be the same answer. Question 7. What distance Montu had to recover to reach the accident spot? Answer. Montu had to recover 2 kilometers to reach the accident spot. Now the same thing can be asked, how far they had run away from the accident spot. So answer is 2 kilometers. Question 8. What had Bunty laughed loudly? Why had Bunty laughed loudly? Answer. When they reach Crescent Road, just like we have CG Road, SG Road, similarly they have this Crescent Road. They were speeding at 100 kilometers per hour and had cleared the crossing in spite of the yellow turning to red. This made Bunty laugh aloud. Why? Because he was thinking that he had, fooled even the traffic light. Grammar in use. First one, A. Fill in the blanks with reference to the lesson. Number 1. In a short time, Bunty had become a hero. So overnight is another word that can be used. Second, Bunty's uncle was staying for 3 wonderful weeks. Why wonderful? Because they will have access to the bike. Third, Montu said, your uncle's not such a dumb person. Dumb means stupid, that he will trust you with his bike. Fourth, the old woman crossing the road was hit down by Bunty. So she was hit down. She was not run over. Fifth one, I was angry, frightened, and feeling sinful, meaning ashamed. B. Once again, fill in the blanks, page 34. This is more in a paragraph form. So even if the words are given in bracket, you may have to use something extra in order to make sense. People had gathered at the airport to welcome the great pilot. He was cheered loudly when he stopped down. He was carried on their shoulders. Because of the clever trick of the policeman, the American gentleman was taken out in a procession. The policeman had a sign of relief. Later on, Lindbergh welcomed and was congratulated by one and all. So, see how the words can be changed. Especially it has to be kept in tune with the lesson. See, again the solution is there. Keep your book open. Complete the passage by choosing the correct word given in the bracket. Last Sunday, Anwar wanted to return home to see his parents. Wanted. So he went to the bus station. See, it is in the past tense. He moved to the inquiry counter. The clerk was not there and then thought of buying newspaper. He stood there and waited for the bus. You can see the entire paragraph is written in past tense. You have studied active and passive voice. Active voice, subject is the doer. In passive, subject is actually the receiver. Here both the sentences are done for you. First one, they make you feel very small. Active voice. You are made to feel small by them. Passive. Now see the difference between active and passive. In the passive you have the make has become made and made has also taken the word are. So are plus past participle and one more thing that is added is by. So you are made to feel small by them. Second one, the bike was wheeled out of the gate. Was wheeled out. Passive. Now you will find that in passive, generally the verb takes another verb. So here we have was wheeled out, was made. So passive. Active will be they wheeled the bike out of the gate. So see, in the second one, was is not written. That is why it is active. Third one. Just then, an old woman was crossing the road. So it is active and it is past continuous. Was crossing. Now passive is just then the road was being crossed by an old woman. Now was crossing is replaced by was plus being plus crossed. So you say was plus being plus past participle by the old woman. Fourth one. The conductor was angry. So I was asked to get down. The second part of the sentence. I was asked to get down. That is the passive part. And the second one. The conductor was angry and asked me to get down. Asked me. That means the conductor asked me to get down. So it is active. I hope you have understood the difference. Maintain the tense and change should be according to the requirement. So that brings an end to this lesson, Unit 4, Bunty's Blue Bike. I hope you have enjoyed. While reading the lesson, picturize the entire thing and almost visualize the entire narration, and you will understand the lesson like never before. Thank you.